Hey you guys, it's Maria and welcome to my first Mommy Unplugged. The baby's asleep right now, so you kind of see him on the monitor here. So I have a little bit of time to talk to you, and this is why I'm really excited, because Mommy Unplugged is a way for me to continue our conversation. It allows me to have a little bit of time to share with you some of the things that are on my mind, you know, what's going on in the news around the world and how it may affect our families. Also, it's a great time for me to share some of your comments and also your questions, and to get to read some of your emails. In fact, that brings me to this one email that I just received a few days ago. Really interesting email. This one's from Ryan. And Ryan says, "Dear Maria, I'm a daddy that loves tech, so I hope you can help me. I have a 13-year-old daughter that has an iPhone. I want an app that allows me to see everything that's happening on her phone. There are several companies that provide the exact service that I want. The problem with these is that it requires the iPhone to be jailbroken prior to installation. I don't want to jailbreak my iPhone, as that will void warranty and support from Apple. Please help." Well, Ryan, that's a great question. And it brings up two larger issues for me, which I will get to in a second. But first, about jailbreaking your phone. It's totally legal. It's actually okay to do it if you want to do it. I would just caution you, however, to make sure that that app that you download for monitoring your daughter's activities on her phone is one that's been vetted and reviewed well, so that it won't conflict with any of the other functions that your iPhone has. Like, it could really slow it down, some of these apps. So just be careful and just pick the right one. And if you want to go back, by the way, to its original settings, all you have to do is plug your iPhone back into iTunes and hit restore, and it should put it back to its original settings. But it's totally okay to jailbreak your phone. It's actually legal. I do want to mention that there are other options for you. There are other apps that are designed specifically for the Android phones as well as the Blackberries. And I mention this because they're actually a little bit cheaper if you change your mind about the iPhone. Okay, now to one of two bigger issues related to your question. The first one is one that I get asked often. Should you spy on your kids? Like, look exactly into what they're doing on their phone as well as the internet. Some parents say, no way, that's a total invasion of their privacy. And then there are some parents that say, yeah, you should know exactly what your kids are doing, know exactly all of their passwords for Facebook, Twitter, their email, and also who they're texting on their phones. I feel like you should definitely know what your kids are doing online, because it's a whole nother world out there, you guys. You want to know exactly who your kids are talking to and interacting with online, because it's kind of like putting your kids on a bus and not knowing where that bus is going and saying, "See ya, I don't know what time you're coming home, but I'll see you whenever." You don't know who they're talking to, these strangers. They could be engaging in inappropriate behavior that they may not be aware of. I think that you definitely should, first and foremost, have this open dialogue, open communication with your kids. Let them know that you do have access to all of their computers and their cell phones, because first of all, you're paying for it, and you are their guardian and their parent, and you should know what they're doing at all times. Okay, now to the second point I was talking about. How old is old enough to have your own phone? You have a 13-year-old. Some parents think 5-year-old kid would be okay, 10 is okay, and then some parents feel like you should be at least 18 or at least old enough to pay for your own phone in order to have one. For me, I think some of you know this, but I have an older son. When he was younger, I did give him a phone when he was in middle school. That was about 12 or 13, when he was in 7th grade. I was working odd hours, and he was involved with football and a lot of other extracurricular activities after school. So I needed to stay in touch with him as he was being picked up by other parents and also his grandparents. But back then, those phones were just phones. They didn't really surf the internet or allowed you to text. So, but as far as like how old is old enough, I think 7th grade probably 6th grade or 7th grade, when your kids are really involved in a lot of stuff after school, I think that would be a good time for them. They should be responsible enough to have their own phones. And again, I stress the fact that you should have an open dialogue with them about responsibility and safety with having their own phone. Okay, Ryan, I hope I answered your question, and I hope you'll continue to watch Mommy Loves Tech, because we'll probably have a whole nother segment just dedicated for health and safety and responsibility on the internet. So watch out for that. Okay? And you guys keep those questions and comments coming, and I would love to read them here on Mommy Unplugged. And you can even send some video comments as well, video questions, and we'll post them up here on mommylovestech.com. Okay, so thanks so much for watching Mommy Unplugged, and we will see you next time.